We're going to do a short video here on how to keep your head holder in good working condition, and we'll give you a few maintenance tips. One of the first things I want to start with is this locking device in this cam, because I feel that's one of the most critical points. So I want to just show you the need and to have margin here, because you'll see this silver profile here is a cam, and as you lift this handle, it pushes this release pin, and that's what unlocks your head holder. However, if it comes out of adjustment or it's been adjusted wrong, and if this gap becomes too narrow, it could be possible this head holder will let go, especially if you got an animal a big animal like a bull or something that can put a lot of force in this head gate. There's a certain amount of, or on this head holder, there's a certain amount of flex here. And it could flex enough, it could actually lift that pin enough to release it. So it's very easy to adjust. However, it can be over adjusted, and I'll explain that now. So what you want, you want a biggest margin as you can possibly get. But if you go too big, I'll show you what happens. You don't have enough lift on your handle, and you can't release that pin. So you got to bring your bolt back down so that you've got full release on your complete stroke. So it's adjusted properly now. So just tighten up your jam nut, lock it in place so that it doesn't come out of adjustment, and that's good. But there's another little thing that can go wrong with this. Is this bolt here, you see this handle rises and falls. If this bolt is over tightened, what'll happen is as you lift that handle won't fall. So your lock box always remains in a released position. So that's quite important. The other thing is, another cause of slipping could be lubrication. Because this lock box, as well as the squeeze lock box, as well as the head gate lock box, are all friction locks. So if you put enough lube on there, especially oil or grease, you can overcome the friction. But it's not a big deal. If somebody over lubes it on you, you just take a can of brake cleaner and soak it down pretty good. And make sure you get that whole shaft, and then just wipe it off. Just one note I'd like to make: if somebody has contaminated the shaft enough with grease or something like that, it could have built up in that box enough that you might have to take off your lock box and take it apart and clean it. Not likely, but it's possible. So the other thing is, if this is sat out for a few months and you feel that it's awfully stiff and chattery, well then what we recommend is just WD-40 dry lube. Just take a rag, put a bit on a rag. It doesn't take a lot. Just give that shaft just a little bit of a wipe. It'll do a lot for you. Is your head holder can start falling on you sometimes as you're working cows. So there's a couple of ways to fix that. One is these big nuts here. Behind them there's a spring washer, a real heavy spring washer that's shaped like that. So as you tighten up that nut, it increases the force on that bushing against the plate, and that you can somewhat control the friction on that head holder to prevent it from dropping too easily. And another thing here, there's a pin on the control tower. If you're working your herd and you're not using your head holder at all, you can just stick that pin in, and then that'll keep it up there, keep it locked in place. So the other thing is, on these two main bushings, there's grease zerks. I recommend greasing that once in a while. Your head scoop has 2 bolts and 2 jam nuts, so you can adjust your scoop back and forth. And in your door there's 2 sets of holes, and your head holder back plate there's a set of slots. So you have a certain amount of adjustment in each set of holes just by letting it rise and fall in that slot. We hope you found this video helpful. However, if you're still experiencing problems with your head holder, please be free to call our client care team and they'll be more than willing to help you out. Thank you.